Yo, DJ Academics just decided to go to war with Rock Nation, and what is going on? If you guys don't know, DJ Academics actually posted snippets of his deposition, which already is legally improper. He is not being sued, but he was being deposed from the Rock Nation Meg Thee Stallion trial. It was Rock Nation lawyers, I'm assuming, okay? Now, that really doesn't matter. The whole point of the matter is, I think all these games, that's how you know that DJ Academics, most of his fans are 12-year-olds, because the people that don't understand the way he literally took himself from a deposed witness and drew himself in this matter, maybe he wants to get in there, but baby, he just declared war on Rock Nation. Now, what am I talking about? So he was posting all the clips of him in his deposition. Now, mind you, it was a 7-hour deposition, and DJ Academics was only showing strategic things, which of course made his Tom and Jerry, hurly burly, pleasantly plump self, right? Made it like, yeah, he was running circles around him. These are... Which already I was rolling my eyes at and was already getting him into a little bit of trouble. But then he just made a fatal error. And I made a fatal error. And I'm waiting to see if there's fallback from this. But the streets are saying that he might have just academics a bit too hard. What am I talking about? Well, listen to this clip really quick, okay?
I told him I wouldn't be on my phone while I'm answering questions, but these lawyers, they couldn't either hold their bladder.
Now, while he's saying this, he has on the screen, the lawyers were having a private Slack conversation, or a Slack conversation, the little Slack conversation about DJ Academics, okay? Now, here's his reaction to it, and this is what he said. Hold on, listen to this.
They all needed food. I think somebody did number 2 or something while we were doing it. They're like, yo, we need some more time. We got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, damn. Yo, what y'all got in the cafeteria up there at the Rock Nation lawyer offices? They could hold their bladders break after break after break. So on one of the breaks, I posted, yo, they're asking me crazy shit up in here about Drake, everybody. Listen, I'm gonna snitch. I'm gonna tell the world. Look what she says. And this is where I realized we got you. Y'all are liars. Tell Des. If you're the lawyer for Megan Pete, why would you need to tell Des? Who's Des? The only Des that I know, and I could be wrong. Desiree Perez, the co-founder and chief executive officer of Rock Nation. So you did this.
Pause right there. Everybody knows that Alex Spiro from Quinn Emanuel is representing Meg Thee Stallion. That's one of the reasons Tory Lanez went to jail. Alex Spiro is no joke. Alex Spiro is also Jay-Z's personal lawyer. He's Elon Musk's personal lawyer, and he's Rock Nation's personal lawyer. So again, what are you talking about? But hold on, because this isn't how he played himself. Just listen to what he said, because baby, if you've been praying for Academics' downfall, he might have just done it himself, because he literally violated attorney work product. When you get confidential info, or info that you were not supposed to see, even if you mistakenly see it, you are not allowed to comment on it. You're supposed to act like you didn't see it, and you're definitely not supposed to live chat it. There are sanctions, there are motions, there are fines, and on top of that, it pulls you from just being a witness into the court. But let's continue to what he is, let's continue with what this fool's saying.
So with y'all sitting there with me for 7 hours claiming that y'all had zero affiliation, and that, yes, even if y'all did represent Rock Nation, this is a Meg Thee Stallion thing. My conduct in that deposition, y'all are in an internal chat reporting, go tell Rock Nation CEO this. Academics is posting about the deposition.
First of all, they didn't say go tell Rock Nation CEO. And listen, they might have been talking about Desiree Perez, but you know with the law, one thing has to say it's one thing. It can't be the other, okay? Maybe they were talking about Desiree Perez, but Academics can't prove that. Des could be anyone. Des could be the person down the street, the lawyer, the paralegal. Des could be anyone. So for you to say Des and now you're saying it's Rock Nation CEO, it's very weird to me that he's trying to pick a fight with Rock Nation. Is he worried about that Tory Lanez stuff? Is he worried about the stuff that happened with Drake and the UMG? Is he not making any money since he got exposed as being a certified weirdo with a little kid that had more sense than him? Is it? On top of that, he's saying all this. Are you going to share your depositions? Because as much as he says he's not being sued, I believe he still has outstanding lawsuits. And I think they're linked to that one lady. Tell me if I'm wrong. But let's keep going.
Come on, gang. Come on. When I tell y'all that Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, in my belief, is lining the whole industry up, and everything, even the Meg Thee Stallion, the Halle Baileys of the world. If you connected to Rock Nation, trust me, they're cooking up some type of poisonous secret sauce to get your ass. Y'all think I'm lying? Well, here it is in 4K. The lawyers of Megan Thee Stallion, because I posted a story saying, yo, I'm in this deposition, they're asking about Drake. She says, tell Des, I said he couldn't get to the end of the depo without posting about it.
First of all, in a deposition, as much as his 12-year-old fans, even on Akademiks TV, they said Akademiks exposes Meg Thee Stallion's degenerate lawyers after they mistakenly shared their screen. Again, mistakenly shared. He wasn't supposed to share this, right? Where there was a chat of him talking, where there was a chat about them talking crazy about him, throwing a temper tantrum, and allegedly reporting to the menacing Desiree Perez. First of all, that was privileged attorney info. And the fact that he's making contact, I know people are laughing, saying, see, that's why they shouldn't have deposed Akademiks, because he gonna live stream everything. We don't talk about that in a second.
All these names, it'll be interesting to figure out who these people are. Kayla Fleck.
He's literally now reading every name that's on their Slack.
Julian Scone, Joseph Bocci. They're probably pretty good. They're probably pretty good guys. I have nothing wrong with Quinn Emanuel, but I could tell that Rock Nation is a puppeteer pulling them strings. That's not onto y'all, chat. This particular deposition, I'm not a defendant. I'm not an involved party. They claim that I might have discoverable evidence. That's why they've subpoenaed me. And the subpoena required me to do a deposition that they should have been asking me about my knowledge of any information that could help or hurt the defendant or the plaintiff. And the people they asked me about was people like Nicki Minaj, Drizzy Drake. Hey, did Drake ever pay you? Did he ever do this?
The reason they were asking that is because Drake was one of Tory's earliest supporters. Again, in a deposition, they have a right to ask you about reported parties, especially if those people in the past have shown support, especially when it is a payment for propaganda. You, as a deposition person, your lawyer could have said that's out of bounds. But because you answered the questions, it was relevant in some way, shape, or form. But let's keep going.
Who is Grand Wizard Chat Nigga? What else they asked me? Well, they asked me everything. But y'all didn't focus on the case. They asked me mostly about Tory. It's a little bit odd to me. But anyway, if anyone, because sometimes people think I'm cool. Like, yo, Wack, you was making shit up. In the deposition for Meg, they're saying tell Desiree. And by the way, chat, even with a little bit of, essential water in my system, 5 hours in, I spotted that mistake. It was on the screen for 3 seconds. I mentally timestamped it. I got it. I got it. Yo, let me in the Slack channel. I want to be up in the Slack channel. I can't get in here. Yo, they ain't gonna let me in the Slack channel though. So they ain't gonna let me in the Slack channel. I want to be up in there with Marie bad. I want to be up in there.
So that was DJ Akademiks trying to be cute. Now, I went and talked to a few lawyers and was like, yo, this doesn't seem like it should actually be there. And listen, a legal analysis I 100% trust said, listen, Tisa, okay, Act thought he was stealing receipts from the lawyers to dunk on them on that chat. But the second he posted those chats, he model walked straight into their trap. If Rock Nation wanted him in the crosshairs, now they got a path. Sanctions first, then maybe a seat at the defendant's table. Woo! Now, you know when I heard that, I said, okay, tell me more, okay? Because, listen, when you do a share screen, all right, there's certain things that courts actually believe. Listen to this, right? One, they said he was already kind of dragging it by streaming, not even streaming, but showing clips or streaming his own deposition. As a general rule, depositions are part of discovery, not public trials. They're usually subject to protective orders or at least assumed confidential until filed in court. Now, there are some possible issues he may have raised by even doing that. If there's a protective order, which I don't think so, there's a violation, right? Discovery abuse. Courts frown on using discovery material to harass or embarrass the other side. Selectively posting clips to make lawyers look foolish could support a sanctions motion. Or they could actually sue him for defamation or harassment exposure. But hold on. Because they were like, listen, Tisa, even if the raw footage that he's posting was actually real and not heavily edited, the commentary environment, exposing it to chat and ridicule, might create a harassment claim or at least give the other side ammo to say he was interfering with their fair proceedings. So it's risky what he did, just that alone. At a minimum, it could earn him sanctions, fines, restrictions, and on how he handles discovery. Now, listen. Why is that important? Because it gets juicier. Because he's trying to say he's just a witness, but the courts are going to say you're acting like a defendant. Okay? Academics, they said, Tisa, Academics might have thought he was giving commentary, but he's actually walking himself into the ring. Instead of just being a witness, he's painting a big red target on his back for Roc Nation's legal team. Again, by live streaming snippets or clowning lawyers, he's turning himself into a player in the case. Normally, if you're just a deponent, that's the person that's deposed. Your job is simple. You answer questions, you provide documents, and you stay quiet. Now, by weaponizing discovery, it's a dangerous move. The deposition isn't supposed to be a public circus. Courts treat discovery like a sandbox of rules. You use it properly or you get kicked out. By cutting and posting only gotcha clips, he risks protective orders. The judge bans him from ever sharing or talking about the case again, right? Contempt sanctions, fines, maybe even referral for perjury if his testimony slips up, and being labeled, most importantly, a hostile witness is he is called to testify, which makes lawyers be able to come at you harder. When you're just a witness, there's a certain amount of respect they have to show you. When you're a hostile witness, they can talk to you grimy, do gotcha moments, whip you around. Nobody really wants to be considered a hostile witness, but there's more. Okay. Instead of letting the lawyer sweat them out in a closed door deposition, it looks like Fluffy is flipping the cameras back on them. Now, they said this might be cute for his clicks and views, but judges hate when witnesses turn lawsuits into Twitch streams. Now, they're like, Tisa, but all that pales in conspiracy. I took notes for the leaking the lawyers' chats or the Slack. You know Slack, for those of y'all that got a 9 to 5. They said that's the real problem for him. They said that private lawyer chat, Slack, whatever you want to talk it, internal communications that was accidentally shared with them, that's golden privilege land. They said, Tisa, you have to remember this. Even if they messed up and screen shared it, the law says it's still protected. By posting it, he's not just embarrassing them, he's broadcasting attorney work product, which is sacred in litigation. Lawyers could, and they may, and again, Roc Nation, Quinn Emanuel, they don't play. They do not play. On top of that, let's not forget, Akademiks is trying to act like he is like this innocent player. I remember when he was circulating a lot of information about Meg Thee Stallion that turned out to be false. A false police report, I think, maybe a false medical report. It was some big false report. So the judge got involved and was like, what are you doing? So there's a reason why they're questioning this man, but there's more, okay? The lawyers could, and they might, if the streets are talking, demand a clawback order forcing him to delete and take it down. Ask the judge to sanction him or restrict his future access or accuse him of using privileged material for harassment. Again, restricting future access means if he is pulled in as a witness, there will be a gag order and he cannot talk about it. I think Act's talking about this because he is nervous. There was a weird relationship, in my opinion, between him and Tory and what he was posting. Now, part of me was like, okay, well, Act seems like he don't like women very much. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the prize. But my whole point of the matter is that there was just something there, okay? Now, listen, a second lawyer I talked to, esteemed legal analysis, said, Tisa, girl, this is where he really bit off more than he can chew. If a regular person leaks a DM, it's just gossip. But if you leak a lawyer's private chat, group chat, and the contacts that they've been communicating with, that's legal plutonium. Judges don't play around with privilege. Now, again, the first analysis I talked to was like, because I was like, but this is so weird that Roc Nation lawyers would be would be like sloppy, right? Now, since the deposition is tied to whether Akademiks was paid to smear Meg the Stallion, this could look even messier, okay? They said if he's mocking the lawyers and leaking strategy, it feeds the idea he's aligned with Roc Nation's enemies. His live stream almost becomes part of the alleged scheme. Look, he's still doing Tory, Drake's, or whoever else's dirty PR work in real time. So imagine this. If they drag him in to answer if he was paid to talk slick about Megan, instead of just chilling like he should have, he live streams a deposition and clowns the lawyers. Baby, legally speaking, that looks like Exhibit A, and he's literally proving he's part of the PR war. Listen, a lot of people say that Akademiks is playing with fire right now. One, a lot of people say, judging on the surface, it looks like there is a connection between him and Tory, and what they're accusing him of doing, he did. And Milagro, Tory, Akademiks, we'll see if that will pan out. The link between him and Drake, we already know, right? But also he's playing with fire because he just took himself as a deposed witness and put himself. And if Roc Nation or Quinn Emanuel wants to be petty, well, baby, they can get petty. Anyway, you guys, this story is developing. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.